because we're going to talk about censorship this time. And speaking of Dragon Quest, because that game. But anyway, anti-censorship interview between Dragon Quest creator and Dragon Ball editor wiped from the internet, spokesman claims. The video has been spread in a manner that is far removed from its true meaning. So apparently there was this interview that went on, and one of them, because I can't remember who was who at the moment. My brain is still fried. Was complaining about censorship in our neck of the woods, things like body type 1, body type 2, which of course is also one of those things I've railed about because it makes literally no sense whatsoever. Heck, I just played Throne and Liberty. That name does not roll off the tongue very well. Last night,
you boomer.
Yeah, for the first time, and they have a body type 1 and a body type 2, and it's male or female. Now, I understand that we can't offend anybody, but I don't understand why they're not more offended by the fact that it's 1 and 2 at this point, because the whole thing you're trying not to offend is the transes. And the transes, of course, are transitioning from body type 1 to 2 or from 2 to 1. Why it can't just stay male or female at that point. But we also are talking about the same people who want to tell me there's 50,000 genders out there.
Hey, real quick.
But there's also not 50,000 body types to go with it.
Yeah. Did you get Skype Woods thing on YouTube?
Skype Woods, what? No.
He said Nintendo should not be allowed to do people.
Sky Woods. Yeah, I already read that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought you said Skype Woods, and I was like, Skype? Who? What?
Yeah.
Why Skype?
Yeah, sorry about being away. So my stomach is not happy with me.
Oh, that's fine. But anyway, they was upset about the fact that they're having to censor their game because of people over here. And personally, I think they should just tell them to fuck off and just not do it.
They tried to get rid of that video, by the way, of the...
Yeah, they did. And then somebody re-uploaded it, and then Elon Musk retweeted it. And then it went far-reaching.
I will say this. The more I learn about Elon Musk, the more I'm like, you're a naughty little man, aren't you?
But in the aftermath of the two extreme creators saying the internet ablaze with their criticism of America's content standard, nearly all traces of the recent anti-censorship discussion held between Dragon Quest creator Yujo and former Shonen Jump editor-in-chief Kazuhiko. Yeah, I can't pronounce names. Anyway, have been forcibly scrubbed from the internet. As previous reports during an interview given to the Japanese video game news outlet Dinfeme, Nico Game Magazine, during a recent Tokyo Game Show 2024, the two were asked by their host about the censorship changes made to the female warrior, the female gadabout, and the male monster wrangler class designs in the upcoming Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, which, by the way, if you missed it, I am not a fan of the remake, and it has nothing to do with censorship. It is purely the aesthetics. I hate it. I can't stand it. It grates me to no end. Anyway, just in case anyone was wondering.
Sometimes it could be done right. A lot of the times it comes off kind of jank.
It's never done right, in my opinion.
Star Ocean, the second story.
It was not done like that. I mean, I guess if it had an HD remake that I never played.
It did. It does. I played it.
I wouldn't have played
stream of it.
Oh, well, then I probably wouldn't have played it. Oh, wait. No, I did see you play that. Is that 2D on 3D? I thought it was 3D. Or just 2D on 2D.
Well, do you mean the battles, or do you mean like the whole world?
The stuff that you're interacting with. Star Ocean. The second story.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see.
I'm not sure if I understand what you're...
Yeah, that looks 3D to me.
So what do you mean by 2D? I don't think I'm connecting the dots with what you're saying here.
The sprites are 2D,
Yes.
while the world is 3D.
Yes.
Yeah, these look 3D.
They're not. That is 2D sprites with
Really?
animation. Yeah. They're just that damn good.
Could I just not tell the difference? Then I guess maybe you're right. There is.
You can pull up my live stream and see actual movement.
Somebody's
Lord knows I need the views.
Yeah, you're right. I just couldn't tell it on my phone. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
But see, here's the thing. The original game was like this.
No, it was the same battle system, but its art style couldn't do that.
The original was just like that, except I think it might have been painted backgrounds.
You see, the older stuff is different when it does that sort of thing. It was Final Fantasy VII style.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's a totally different thing. In fact, I feel like these sprites look better than the remake. Anyway, sidetrack.
Yeah. By the way, I think that in the remake you can actually switch between the sprite sets.
Oh, that's neat. That's one of the things I really like about the remake of Wonder Boy 3.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you can change between the old style and the new style. And the new style looks just fine.
They do that with Secret of Mana also. I'm pretty sure like you can switch between the old style that it looks like. So you essentially got the old game, or you can play it in the new style.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of reactions. Like you can be too revealing, where he said, as per transcript in the interview provided by Japanese video game news source Game Talk in the subsequent machine translation by Google Translate. Google Translate. Anyway, pressed in turn by Chris, I mean, it's fiction, but isn't it fine for you, the protagonist, to go on an adventure in it? Is that wrong? It's a game. It's non-fiction.
Yeah. It's not real life, everybody.
Yeah. A virtual experience of fiction, so I think it would be fun. I don't know. I really don't know, though. If you reveal too much, the target age group will increase, or maybe it won't be suitable for all ages.
Dude, it never was. And the people that are going to play this game are not going to be kids.
Oh, yeah, probably not. Not in this day and age. Because chances are the people who are going to play this are fans of the old one.
Yeah.
However, they played it as kids. Yeah. Which, is this weird area. It's like you're making a game, a remake.
Video games
the target audience, or the audience that originally played it, is going to play it again. They wanted it back. They want it again. But you're not going to target kids of today, because kids of today are too busy with Fortnite.
Yeah, their attention span is like non-existent.
Yeah. Jumping off the colleague's point, Toshiyama then explained, compliance is an absolute god. There's something like evil in the name of good. It is not like everyone doesn't feel uncomfortable, because not everyone has different ideas about what is good and bad.
You know what's kind of creepy is
at the root of everything, there's a few things that you absolutely must not do. And if you don't do those things, everything else will be fine, right? That doesn't exist.
Okay, you know what's very creepy about that quote?
Mm-hmm.
Compliance is an absolute god. There is something like evil in the name of good. Dude, that is kind of describing Lucifer. Like that you could use that part of the quote and apply that to Satan, and it would be an apt descriptor.
Which is another thing that they had to change too. It's like I think clerics or something. They have like crosses and stuff. Like that stuff had to be removed from a lot of these games too, which is ridiculous. That's even a thing that has to be removed.
They hate Christianity, dude.
I know, but like, still.
Honestly,
the fact that of all the things to censor, you want to censor the cross from a class whose whole purpose is to get holy light from the God above to heal you and resurrect you.
And this isn't new. I mean, they censored the same thing here in the West in the original Zelda game.
I can understand changing that for, say, a release in Iran or something, you know, but to the rest of the world, Europe and America, that's stupid.
Look at Zelda, man. The original name for the magic book that you get in Zelda 1 is the Bible, and it had a cross on it.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, one of the shields, I think, had a cross on it at one point.
Link's original shield had a cross on it. And he's canonically a Christian before they added the goddesses and bullshit.
Yeah, they changed it up. But I mean, in a way, they did it in a good way because now it's given its own story that is separate. So the idea of sex education that comes from religious concepts, a reference to Americans' Puritanism rather than a dig at a group of mentally or of progressive activists. A reference of Americans' Puritanism rather than a dig at the group mentally of progressive activists. From the West is in America, right? I feel like I'm reading broken English.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to
trying to follow it, but
he continued. The idea of compliance is really narrow. When publishing comics over there, you have to separate them by age. Yeah, unfortunately, that's how we do things. If Shonen Jump manga, you can't publish it unless it's 13 years old or older. You have to do all the retakes. You have to take out insurance in case of a lawsuit. It's really troublesome. That's why Japan is badly influenced by that. That sucks. Insurance?
Yeah.
Damn, we fucked up over here in America.
Well, it's because...
But that explains why we don't get that many imports from Japan, which Japan makes a lot of damn good games.
Yeah.
The problem is we don't get most of them.
Yeah, because...
I mean, I don't know how many times I'll be listening to a video about games we never got, and I'm like, oh, that would be awesome. Where was... And then it turns out it was a Japan-only release, and it's like, really?
Yep.
Another reason for me to learn Japanese.
Yeah, it's really one of those things where, and it's not the gaming community that caused this. It's the fucking pearl-clutching a-holes that are part of like the ESRB boards and stuff. And they're
it's the woke community, which is where we go back to the type 1 and type 2 thing I was talking about.
Okay, so it's the woke community, but let's go prior to that. Because there's a foundation that was built for the woke community to use and use it as a bludgeon. And that was all these moms that didn't want to parent their kids and just was like, threw them in front of a GTA. And then they saw what GTA was and they're like, oh my goodness, they sold this to my baby boy. Like, no, you bought it. You're responsible. Zio, you know the whole routine.
That would be the Christians and parent your fucking kids. Anyway.
Coming from a Christian, by the way, I am a Christian.
I know but that was part of the satanic panic.
Yeah, and it was bullcrap.
and you know, you've got that senator from California or whatnot who was, having a holy crusade about video games, especially GTA. But no, I mean that's where a lot of that stuff came from. Is, you know, parents
Mortal
didn't pay
Kombat,
attention.
GTA, Doom.
Yeah, and then they found out that this was that and that was in there, and then they were like, "Oh my gosh, why would this?" And it's like you bought a game that was rated T for teen, or rated M for mature. Pay the fuck attention. And being somebody who worked in electronics for a long time for Kmart, I don't know how many times I've had somebody, you know, want to buy a game for their, 8-year-old or something like that who's standing right there, and I'll look at it and I'm like, "Are you sure you want to buy this?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, that's what he wants." And it's like, it's rated M for mature. Okay, so how much is it? Okay, but please don't come back and yell at me when you run into the sex scene, please.
Did you actually say
Mass
that?
Effect, for fuck's sake. Anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, which did happen.
They
I got yelled at for selling a game to an adult for their child, and they were upset because they could have sex with strangers. Because they bought fucking GTA. Anyway.
Hot coffee. So
they came back and yelled at me, and it's like, I warned you.
Similar thing happened with God of War.
Yeah, look, I never played God of War, and I started playing it for the first time. And luckily, my kids weren't old enough to realize what I had on the screen. And there was just titties. And I was like, oh shit, this is not the game to play around the kids. Fuck, my bad. Immediately turned the channel, turned the TV to another thing real quick, and I was like, fuck, okay, God of War, play it with the kids not home.
Yeah.
You know, or asleep or something else. You know, you can't play it around the kids. Take that one somewhere else. But anyway, closes out the portion of the interview. You can choose male or female protagonists, but you can't say that you choose a man or a woman. They are type 1 and type 2. And I wonder who on earth would complain if we made them male or female. I don't know.
Nobody would.
That's the problem. Like I was saying earlier, you know, we played Thrones of Liberty, Liberty, right?
Yeah.
They have 2 types, type 1 and type 2. It's male or female. And then hell, playing Power World, you got 4 types. Male, female, bulky female. That's it.
Well, no.
I don't understand.
No. You got it wrong on Power World.
What?
Male 1, male 2, female 1, muscle mommy.
Okay. Well, muscle mommy. Anyway, and it's just like, why? It's like, I feel like I would be more upset at the fact that they can't actually refer to it as male and female.
Yeah.
And it's to, you know, not to trigger somebody or whatever bullshit or offend them or whatnot. It's like, who gets offended by that? It's just one of those things. It's like, I get it. You're trans. You're a trans man. Why do you not want to just pick a man at that point? That's what you are. That's what you want to be. Pick the man. Pick the male. Or vice versa. You don't need a type 1 or type 2 to make you feel validated.
The games are about fantasy. So wouldn't you want to live out your IRL fantasy in the game and pick whichever? I probably got you banned. I'm sorry. But wouldn't you want?
What'd you say?
Trans thing.
Well, I already said trans like 5 times.
Well, no, not that.
I mean,
type 2, male, female. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, if they were born a woman but are transitioning to a man, or born a man transitioning to a woman, wouldn't they want to live out that fantasy of them completing their transition in the game? It makes no sense to be thing 1, thing 2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I would be more offended at being thing 1 or thing 2, to be totally honest. But I don't know because I'm parent, I'm not trans. But if you actually look at my play history, I like to play a lot of females. I might as well be at this point.
You probably get money.
Probably.
You
I
probably
get monetized on YouTube then because there'll be a trans woman. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, I mean, I could probably pull it off. I got the ears for it. No, wait, that's a furry. Shit. I don't know what I am now. Anyway, I am confused. Somebody help me. Send me an adult. Send me an adult. I'm confused. But anyway, I just feel like I would just be more, offended by the fact that, instead of giving you male 1 or male 2 or female, male or female, you're thing 1 or thing 2.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't understand why that was such a push. Because it's the same thing in every single game. Type 1, type 2, and it's clearly a male and a female.
Yeah, and it blows my mind that trans people would be upset about that, or that they're not upset about that because it's kind of condescending.
Personally, I think it's because they're fake. They're not really. And I'm sure I can get a lot of trouble by finishing that statement. But yeah, it's just they're not actually the thing, because actual people who are trans wouldn't get offended by it. Or would get. No, wait, I forgot. Anyway, point is, they would pick the male or female, whatever actually is assigned, or whatever it is that they feel that they are, Thanks, Alicio.
It's a bot, dude.
I know. Yeah. Sorry.
You want me to do the thing, or?
Yeah, go ahead and do the thing. I was reading that for a second. I was like, oh, it's one of those things. Okay, never mind. But yeah. I think it's time to segue into the next thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the TLDR, the creators came out and they don't understand the religion of the woke and why it's forcing them to censor their creations. And honestly, I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would just say F it and do it anyway.
Real quick, there's been a huge outcry for them to ignore the woke on.
Yeah.
So this might be flipping soon.
But yeah, they really do need to just ignore that and release it, because that's not what their fans want. I think if you are claiming to be a fan of something while also trying to say you're pro censorship of things in that property, you're not really a fan. You're nothing more than a tourist at that point.